What's up, guys? This is Lucas Hatton, and this is Lucas Hatton's YouTube channel. This will be the first video we're going to do, so I'm going to do it with my coach, Alec. This will be a regular series of Lucas and Alec's Front Porch, where we talk shit about strongman and kind of just BS and do the thing that we do normally, just on camera. So what probably brought you to this YouTube video is the announcement of the roster for the Arnold UK. So this is my first major invite. Got contacted a couple days ago. At the time of filming, I don't even know who the other guys are yet. So we'll post this after. Huh?
You know who Thor is?
I do know Thor is in the show, and that is really, really cool. I'm half tempted to do the entire prep in training to fight the mountain t-shirts.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point, I don't know who's going to be in the show. I don't know what the events are going to be. So this is pretty cool. So me and Alec's favorite thing to do is to watch old strongman shows. We've probably watched every Arnold Classic together. At this point, I don't know the events, so we thought it would be fun to do our favorite 5 historical Arnold events, kind of go back and forth, critique each other's lists. It's not necessarily like what events would I like be good at. Hypothetically, it's just what would be our favorite 5. I have some bias in there of things I'm good at, things I'm bad at. And then we're going to go over an event that we both hate that the Arnold has done before, that we don't want to see in the show, and maybe a hypothetical event that they've never done that we would like to see. So I'm going to start with my first one, and this is pretty obvious. The Apollon's axle for reps. I'm the axle guy at this point. First time they did it, 2002, with Mark Henry winning the show.
Yep.
It was 365 at the time. The historical implement they were modeling it off of was 360, so they went a little heavier. He did 3 reps. Everybody else did 1 in that show.
Power clean.
Power clean. Yeah. Probably one of the craziest athletic feats ever. Double overhand, power clean all the way to the chest. 3 reps. Took some time to dance between rep 2 and 3. And then since they brought it back, in 2018, it was Thor and Brian went down to the last event for the win.
193 kilos they brought it to?
They called it a straight 400 pounds. Yeah. So, okay. Give or take, might have been a little more, a little less. Right. Yeah, 2018, it was the first time Thor won the show. Brian got 1 full rep, and they were given credit for cleans as well. So yep. Thor just had to do a clean or a press and 1 clean. He ended up doing 2 reps and like 1 kind of iffy rep that he damn near killed Magnus with the bar with, but it didn't matter because he had the show 1. That would be just for the history of that implement. I want to go on that thing. And now that it's 400 pounds for reps is the standard. Yeah. I think I'd do quite well in that event.
Especially cool against Thor. At least historically, what's really cool about back in the day with the Apollons, they used to give you a point for a continental clean, a greater point for a standard full clean, and then another better point for a clean and press.
That's so cool because it just predates like what's normal in the sport.
Yeah. So if you did a full clean, they're like, you're way cooler. You get
more. Which I don't know. I'd probably guess would be just Mark Henry that's done that. Nobody comes to mind.
Shivaklov tried. And I don't know.
He's like the guy who probably could have if he had more time on the implement. But yeah, that's just nutty that Mark did that.
I think these palms would be great for you. You would probably beat most people in the world at it.
Yeah, and I think it'd be pretty cool to do it against Thor, who, in all fairness, has the world record of reps at the current implement. All right, what's your first one?
My first one, squat max.
Squat for max.
I would love if they brought the squat for max back, because this is the thing. It's a newer event, obviously, for the Arnolds. It isn't newer for the Arnold series. They've had it in many of the qualifying shows that they used to put on, but it's newer for the pro show. I think a few modifications to the layout of the rules and how they went about it would make it a far more entertaining event. Like, for example, getting rid of knee wraps, telling athletes they have a strict 90 seconds, things like that would make it far more enjoyable to the viewer. And would change the strategy because you won't have a lot of time in between lifts, which I think is better. So I think squat for max done right would be wonderful. Put it on the Duffalo bar again, bring it to the boxes again. We would see some sick numbers, and we wouldn't have to wait 20 minutes in between athletes.
Yeah. What did JF take it to? It was like 970 or something, 960, 970, and it was Yeah, nowhere close to what he had prepped for.
No, he had an 1,100-pound squat in him that day.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
It
is
that would have I think that would have been such a cool event in like 2016. Like those dudes. I mean,
bro.
that'd be unbelievable. Like same thing as like this deadlift in that day. 1,000 pounds would be nothing. thousand
Yeah.
pounds would be like attempt twos for those dudes.
So
And
I was gonna
go
say,
ahead.
as I was going through all these Arnold, lists and events and whatever, I remember me and you would talk about all the time, like, why was everybody so strong between 2014 and 2018? Like, why does everybody have 1,000-pound deadlift and that's fifth place maybe? And I looked every single year for like 8 years, including the Arnold qualifiers. There was a max deadlift in every single one. So all of these guys were doing just year in, year round because they all were doing the Arnold circuit, but just
Mhm. Just maxing the hell out of their deadlift.
yeah, the Arnold changed the face of deadlift for like a decade and a half.
So that's a good intro to my next one. You might think I would want the squat, but I kind of don't. I want the max Hummer tire deadlift.
Oh,
I like the elephant bar, but I think there's just something cool about the Hummer tire.
that is
Um,
literally just a squat for you. Shut up. You're gonna
it
ramp the
is.
shit out of
I
it.
would ramp the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So from what I found in the Arnold era of doing that event, Big Z had the record at 11:55. It was
He was like
2013,
526 kilo, I think.
yeah, something like that. And the following year, 2014, I think was the last time they did it. And Brian only took it to 11:17, but that's all he needed to win.
Wow.
After that, they switched to the elephant bar. Next time they came back to the deadlift. And then since I think Shaw is the only show, I mean, Shaw did a very good job to try to copy that setup exactly.
Yeah.
So Novikov is at 12:10 now.
Yeah.
And I
He brought it
believe
up.
that was the 2022 Shaw Classic,
Yep.
if I'm right. So
Yeah,
I
he
just
was.
want to ramp the hell out of that deadlift. And as far as like extreme max deadlifting, that's probably the only setup I could hang with the top
Yeah.
guys right now. I need probably a year or two for the 9-inch deadlift off the floor, and that's fine. But I want to
Yeah.
use that implement.
I mean, it would, by the time you start grooving, it's already over your knees. And like you said,
Yeah.
that Novikov approach, real low with the straps, and
Mhm.
you just
Yeah.
ramp.
Ramp the shit out of it. Yeah. No, and just like it's one of the most iconic events as far as the Arnold goes. I just want to use that implement. And it's small enough that they could ship it overseas real easily for the Arnold UK.
They can. You know what's sad about that disappearing? The only reason why it disappeared was a sponsor shift. They went from literally Hummer, the company, to Rogue, and Rogue was like, "You can use our bar," and now it's called Elephant. Like, that's
Yeah.
it. That's why it's
It's
gone.
true. Hey, Rogue's done a lot of cool stuff for the show. I just miss me some Hummer tires.
Yeah.
All right, what's your second one?
My second one, Max Stone. I want a
Max
Max
Stone.
Stone. Max
You're
Stone.
talking just like over 48-inch bar and
They used to do it all the time. All the time. It was in the full show.
that's true. Wasn't it Brian has the most as far as they did at the Arnold, and he did it for like 2 reps? What
Yeah.
that was like the manhood stone year, right?
Yeah. Well, they did it, I think, 3 or 4 years in a row. And every year, Brian would raise the world record casually. So Brian he never had a reason to go full ham sandwich on it because guys like Tom Stoltman, Matus, even Martins, and Thor were just a little too young, like in literal age to push him. They didn't come
Yeah.
until after, and it was just gone. But had you had a Tom Stoltman in there with Brian Shaw as they were truly pushing that, we would have seen a 300-kilo stone, potentially a 700-pound stone. I can
Yeah.
guarantee.
Yeah. No, and I think a guy like Trey would be awesome in that too.
Yeah.
And in the last year they did it, it was just too like Trey wasn't in the mix yet.
Wasn't
Like
Trey.
did you see that video he just posted of like an
Yeah.
old stone day where he did 550 for 3 loads to ridiculously high
With
like
no tap.
yeah, beautiful extension. Like, dude, Trey would be a problem in that event. Given a prep, he's easy over 600 pounds.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that'd be a cool one.
Bring that back.
Yeah, bring that back. If it's over 48, I'm hyped about it. If we go much higher, I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah. 48 is
Yeah.
what they did it too.
Yeah. I mean, I have no doubt with the prep, I'd be in the mid 5s, but I mean, against certain dudes,
I
that's
think if
their
you hit a
opener.
kilo, I think you could hit a 550.
Yeah, and I haven't had a reason. For sure 500, but I'm sure at the Arnold Classic, 500 would be pretty pedestrian.
Yeah, I think that would be like 6th place. I think you need to hit
Yeah.
550 for like 4th.
Yeah, that'd be tough. That'd be real tough. Okay, my third one. You hate this event. I want to do the hay bale super yoke.
Nice.
Okay, so it was a 4-meter course, so like just over 13
Oh,
feet.
it's called the bale tote, by the way.
Bale tote.
Yeah, and it was
Okay.
1,562 pounds.
It was 1,565 pounds. I just watched the video.
Wow.
And it was, I forgot it was 2 rounds. So they did a round at 1,300 pounds. And if you got through, you could do the 1,565, 4 meters. Shaw did it in 14.8 seconds, and everybody else was over 25 seconds.
Yeah.
So Brian is by far the best at this ever. Just I want to see what it feels like. I know there's a reason it hasn't been brought back because it just
Ended
destroyed
2
everyone.
careers that day. It ended
It
2
kind
careers.
of did. It kind of what
Not even kind of, it did.
Belsack and Journes?
Yeah,
Is that
it
yeah?
literally ended their careers.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to try it. So
Never want to see
I
it.
know you
Yeah,
hate that event, and that's probably in your list of events you never want to see back later.
it
So
is.
yeah. All right, you're number 3.
My number 3, Trial by Stone. The
Okay.
greatest Arnold event that has ever been in any Arnold show. Trial by
Okay.
Stone. And for those that don't remember, let me pull up my notes here. I got for those, where is the video there? You can still see me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So to start, the event it's a medley of different modalities, all relating
Mm-hmm.
to stones. You had a 275 stone press overhead, a 300-pound stone press overhead, a 365 stone to a barrel, a 400-pound stone to a barrel. By the way, only tactiles allowed. A Husafel stone of standard Husafel weight, which is 184 kilos, 50 feet to a mat. So that's the thing. It's all these modalities all tied up in one. You had 60 seconds to do this whole fucking thing, which is not a lot of time.
No, that wasn't it. It was 60 per implement. That's the only thing I would change.
Oh, that's right. It was 60
It was
per.
60 per implement. I think Thor and Mateus made us think it was a 60-second time limit because they were the only 2 that finished that fast.
Pardon me, I'm wrong there.
I-
And one thing about the event I do remember is you could skip a section if you had wanted to.
Mhm. There was like a point system
It
for
was.
like just doing the ones you could do.
Yeah. And I believe only 3 men finished: Thor, Mateus, and Rob Kearney. Who was the other one that finished?
Our boy JF Carone, and
Oh,
like
yeah, of course.
he did finish it. He did finish it the slowest. I know all this because this was my event number 4.
Yeah.
Mateus finished it in 53 seconds, and he beat Thor by like a second and a half.
Right.
Rob
Rob
Kearney laid out for that finish in his it was his rookie Arnold Classic, just dying for the points, and then JF was like a minute 36. He was the slowest of the guys that finished, but he just was methodical.
I was just hanging out with Rob last weekend. I can say that now, which is funny, but I was just hanging out with him last weekend in England, and I was talking to him about this exact event, and he told me when he dove and landed, he actually broke his wrist. So
he was under the stone, right?
He was under the stone. So the whole show, that was event number 1. The whole show, he was operating on a broken wrist and painkillers.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well that gives away my number 4. So I guess you can go into your number 4.
My number 4 here. Let's go in my notes. My number 4. Now I'm cheating here. I'm going to kind of cheat in the last 2 a little bit, but this was an Arnold event from the series, not from the pro show.
Okay.
And I think it counts because the show that you're going to do is technically now a series. It's now the series, right? So
sure.
I'm going to throw it in there. I want the Festivus de Warwick medley.
What the hell is that?
Well, it is an event that you did in Canada, and that is Fingal's finger into yoke.
Okay.
That is the
Festivus. You'd want it to be the same layout as we did at North America's.
Well, that's the event. It's from the exact same show. Yeah. So the show that you did, for those that don't know, North America's Strongest Man was once previously the qualifier for North America for the Arnold Pro. You did the new version of the show, which is now North America's Strongest Man, but they included almost all the original events from the Arnold qualifiers. And one of them was the Festivus de Warwick medley, which is what you just did. Now it's in Victoriaville. So yeah, that medley consists of 2 Fingal's fingers that are quite heavy into roughly 1,000-pound yoke, 60 feet, I think you did.
You went 75 feet.
75 feet.
That might have just been a rules meeting change because he said, we're going to go 75 feet and laughed about it.
Yeah.
So that just might be JF being like, it'd be cool if we went 75 feet.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, but the guys finished it, and it took a really blazing fast time to win the event. I thought I did well, and I still got like 3rd or 4th, and like those guys were moving. Yeah. I like that event.
The event's to see in UK.
It'd be very different for like an indoor Arnold Classic style show.
Totally.
But like It wouldn't be that weird for this show. For this show, I don't think it's that weird.
It isn't, because they have the distance, and usually the space they require for each Arnold is quite a large footprint. And if
They
it's a
could do it.
footprint similar to what they did for the trial by stone, they could totally do it.
Yeah, and the Rogue team just made those single fingers that they didn't get to use.
Look at that.
For the Invitational. So it's on the table. I don't hate that. Okay, I guess I'm on my number 5. And it's kind of boring.
Okay.
It was cool when it came out. I just want to use the implement. I want to do the wheel of pain.
Oh, it's a great
And
event.
I think it'd be a good event for me. So 20,000 pounds is what the listed weight. You know, who knows what that feels like in your hands when you push it.
It feels like
Heavy as hell. Yeah. 1 minute max time or max distance in that time period. I wish they would go back to the year 1 rules where you could push it however you want. I think that was way cooler, and guys who were very much more strategic got distance, and like since then those guys haven't got the same distance. I like the that like shoulders underneath technique that just puts you in your truck pole position and just go.
You know what I love about Novikov? He has changed the rules for like 5 different events now.
Yeah.
He changes so many because like, God damn it, Novikov, you did it again.
Yeah, you did something smarter than everybody else, and the 300-pound dude just ran train and killed it like crazy.
The big boy But a cool little note on the wheel of pain before we move on, because I've had one athlete now do it. It starts really easy. It actually starts very easy, and what happens is all the sand shifts and falls. And then, you hit a wave, you hit that first wave, and then it gets easy again and it falls again. But as it keeps on falling, it gets so much harder to create the force for it to fall higher. And then it starts falling earlier. And then you end up being in this trudge-like feeling. So that's when you see dudes start dying, is when the sand no longer falls at a peak. It's very interesting, that machine.
It's falling off like the front face, right back onto the pile. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why, like, you'll see they're pushing fast. Wall, push fast, wall, and it's just that's what's going on.
It's brutal, man.
And it's right around. It's for every athlete. It's on the. So you start over here. When you go all the way around, just about that corner, which is near the halfway mark over there, that's the hardest part. And that's when you see most people fail right here. Like,
there's that big cluster of girls in the women's show there. There's a cluster of men in the men's show there.
That's the spot.
Yeah, you're right.
For those that just get past it, top 3 every time.
All right. What's your number 5?
My number 5, again, cheating again. It is from another Arnold series show, not from the pro show. And that is the sandbag death medley they did at Arnold Santa Monica. They had a few different iterations of it, but their final version of it was my personal favorite, and is essentially just 3 fucked up heavy bags loaded over a bar at I think at 52 inches. It's pretty high. Ending at 400 pounds,
which I think at the time might have been the first 400 bag in a show.
It was the very first time that at least we could find, because we've looked at one point because the Arnold Classic had a 400-pound bag in a show.
And that was inspired by Rob, who had just done this show, and he's like, they had a 400-pound bag. We should do a 400-pound bag. And we didn't do anything with it. Like Rainier Classic, I think Hatfield is the only one that moved it, didn't come close to loading it. But at the Santa Monica, a couple guys did it.
Yeah, the guys that loaded at Santa Monica were Brian Shaw, Martins, Rano Heinle, and then it's that German guy that never did anything ever again. I believe those guys loaded it, and that's why Maxime lost second place. But yeah, so it ended at 400 pounds. Personally, I would love to see it be 380, 420, 440. That's the weights that I would love to see. Because I would want to see, and I'd give him 2 minutes, and because I'd want to force dudes to have to shoulder it, the last one, to then get it over. Because that would have to be the technique. You have to like do a full on.
I don't know, man.
And then
I don't know, because remember America's Strongest last year?
Yeah.
Dudes straight up loaded like over 440. They didn't take it all the way to 500 pounds, but like I think there's dudes out there, especially if they had it in like the main Arnold Classic.
That's the thing.
That's true. They didn't have to run with it as the third implement in a medley. Right. But yeah, no, you might be right. It might force people to have to shoulder it to get it over.
I would love that.
Yeah. Especially like a Novikov or like a Rob Kearney. Probably. I'm not very tall either. I might have to shoulder the thing. Yeah. I've shouldered a 435, but it took a few attempts and it wasn't in a medley. Yeah, that would be absolutely brutal. Okay.
No,
So you got my list.
yep.
What do you think is missing from my, or what do you hate about it? What do you love about it?
Your list, quickly
I
again.
can go through it again.
Go through it
Collins
quick.
axle,
Yep.
the hay bale yoke,
Yeah.
wheel of pain, trial by stone, max hammer tire deadlift.
It's a good list. It's you know what it is? It's a good Arnold Pro Show list. And what's funny is after going through all these pro events, every Arnold is almost exactly the fucking same. It's actually kind of a boring show. It's
It
like
can be, yeah.
it just kind of keeps on repeating the same ones. So in terms of like tradition, the list is perfect. I just like weird stuff. I think I need more weird stuff. And also, if we're gonna max something, I don't want to see the maxes we've seen all the time. I want to go back to the stone, back to the squat, and then the rest of it should be moving. Because I think the one thing about the Arnold as a whole is just not enough moving anymore. Where it used to
No,
be.
it's not. Yeah, they had the years with like the Husafel pen.
Right.
They've done it. You know what's missing on both our lists, which I'm kind of surprised, is neither of us included the frame. Neither of us included the frame at all.
I'm bored. I'm bored of it.
Yeah, if I was to do the frame, I'd probably like to do the old super heavy version that they allowed straps on. That just crushed people into the earth.
Pritchard has the fastest time on that one.
That doesn't surprise me. That's right up Jerry Pritchard's alley.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a killer time on that. But yeah, so yeah, I like the list. It's a good list. What do you think of what I've got, which is max squat, max stone, trial ball stone, Festivus de Warwick, and sandbag definitely.
That doesn't surprise me at all. It's like, oh, let's do an athlete Arnold. Like, yeah. Which if there was a set of events that I could do well right off the jump, I'd do better in your show than my show, probably. But I would love the trial by stone, the max squat. I mean, yeah, dude, it's a good list. There's not no pressing in your show, is there, other than trial by stone, right?
Oh, it's the only press I'll do.
There's no pressing in your stone except for trial by stone. So that's what I hate about your list as the press guy. Is there an event? We've already covered the yoke. Is there another event that you hope to never see again?
Yeah, absolutely. One, now I need to correct myself. I'm pretty sure this was in Arnold, Australia. Like I'm 90% sure, but they had a hip lift in
the torpedo. The torpedo. I think that was Arnold, Australia. It wasn't the main Arnold.
I'm here to fact check. The hip lift was actually at Giants Live in Australia. So they got the Australia part right, but it then became an Arnold event after they saw it at that event. So back to the video.
Nick Best did moderately okay, but Jenkins won the event, setting a world record hip lift, whatever the fuck that even means. And it was, I remember when they interviewed Mike Jenkins afterwards, it was, so Jenkins, what do you think of the world record? Blah, blah. He goes, I really enjoyed showing everyone my red rocket.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Of those really strange events, I wouldn't want to do the hip lift. I do want to do a back lift at some point, but I'm with you on that. The red rocket should not come back to the Arnold. The event that I don't want to see, and I'm really biased on this because it's a cool event, and I'm thankful that it'd be really expensive to ship it to the UK, but I do not want to do the roller coaster.
To all an outdoor event show.
That'll always be outdoors. But, with my luck, it'd be the one year they'd be like, it'd be cool if we put the roller coaster inside, and me as the worst arm over arm, probably of all professional strongmen at this tier or above, I may be the worst at arm over arm.
For those that don't know, the only reason why you're not in the Arnold Pro Show this year is because of arm over arm.
Yeah, I think at the Arnold Amateur, I placed no worse than like third or fourth, and then I placed like 25th in arm over arm, and I lost by a small margin of a single point. Right. And everyone's like, "Oh, you lost the power stairs. That's why you didn't make it." I'm like, "No, I probably should have just not sucked at arm over arm.
You probably should have maybe 10th place on the arm over arm."
Yeah, and I would have won by a mile. Or the nationals where I got my pro card was ahead by 19 points. Ended up losing to Dylan by like 7 points. That's how bad I did on that event. Yeah, it's not good. So arm over arm, not a fan. Don't do the roller coaster if the odds of Slater and Bill and Jan actually watching this. Pretty low, but please don't do the roller coaster.
The other, you have another one that you hated on there?
No, did you have one more?
I did. I actually had two more.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I do have two more. Stone throw. That was
Stone throw. Let's scrap that.
Yeah, dumbest thing. No one liked it. Not a single person enjoyed that, including the athletes. I was in the back room for that event because I was coaching Ned at that show, and everyone was like, "This is dumb."
What it bums me out because as like somebody who loves like strength history, it's I love the thought of it. It just it wasn't the right thing to do at the Arnold Classic, I don't think.
No.
But it's like what was Jan Todd and Terry Todd's entire field of study, like, and they loved historical strength feats. Like, it makes sense. I like that they tried it. I don't think they should come back to it. But I like that they tried it. I'll put it in that column.
Yeah, history is really Nito Candido. Put that one in a qualifier. Don't put that in the pro show.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, I wouldn't mind that in like a 8 to 10 event show, but in a 5 event show, that's wild. That is a wild event, and it's just I think they intended it to be larger than life, and it's just such a short throw. It's not like you're throwing like a shot put or a discus or something far. It's just not. I don't know if it was big enough, right, for that arena. All right, you said you have one more.
Yeah, and then the last one was just another throw. Actually, throw for max weight. I don't want to see it.
I love it. I love it.
Good.
I would do poorly at it.
Yeah,
I'd be battling for like 5th at best. Yeah. But I like that event. I think it was an event designed for the Brian Shaw versus Thor era.
Yeah,
and that's probably why it's dead. But I also wouldn't be shocked if it's back because this is Thor coming back.
Yeah, I would love to see a series, bag throw series. I'm cool with, but not for Max. I'm good.
I don't know, man. It's the Arnold.
The guy who's 6'9" is gonna win. We get it.
It's heavy things for Max. It's the Arnold. I would guess that if they bring a bag throw, it's gonna be for Max.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an event that they've never done that you'd love to see? I know I sprung that on you last minute.
Oh, that's okay. An event that they've never done that I would love to see.
It doesn't need to be like a category that's been missing. Like an event, it can fit the themes of the Arnold, but just something they haven't done. I can do mine if it helps you.
What's yours?
Okay, I want to do a barbell clean and press for Max.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Why didn't I even just think of that?
You start with the base of a Rogue weightlifting bar, and then you put like Steve Slater and Bill and like the whole Rogue team behind creating. It's not very Arnold-like to just do it with bumper plates. So they probably create some globes or something really cool to be on the side, something larger than life for the Arnold, and just a barbell clean and press for Max. All the guys would probably continental clean it, which would hurt your heart.
It would fucking piss me off, but yeah.
But if it had I want it with the base of a weightlifting bar, so it'll actually rotate. We don't have the problems of an axle. Because if the Arnold wants to see 500 pounds overhead, do that.
Yeah,
right?
like just put it on
it's gonna happen.
So an Alec stage bar, right? And then you just put those big
Rogue.
Put it on the
2028, brother. Rogue.
My bad. Put it on the Rogue Piros Dimas weightlifting bar, which is the best weightlifting bar actually ever created, as far as I'm concerned. It has the best.
Ain't no Aleco around here, brother.
So and then slap those big Rogue wheel things, and there you go.
I think that would go well north of 500 pounds with the right guys.
Explode the internet. Like the weightlifting community would lose their marbles because like some guy just did 260 kilos in the most goofy ass setup.
Oh yeah, like I could. Oh dude, I would love to see like a peak, like Eddie Hall and like Thor going at it back and forth on that bar. Weirdly enough, I think Thor's press would be the limiting factor.
I think it would be too, actually.
I don't know how much weight it would take to make Eddie fail a press at his peak.
With a weightlifting bar?
Probably every bit of 250 kilos.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
you can figure out how to get it to the chest.
Yeah, that's an event. I'm biased, obviously. That's an event, though. I actually think I don't know who would beat you. I really don't. I really don't know who would beat you on that event because you just continental to the belt, you belt clean it to the shoulders or belly clean, whatever. And you would be split jerking. I genuinely don't know who would beat you right now on that event.
No, right now, no. I don't think there is.
I don't know if anyone would.
I think there's a couple guys that could do a little north of 500 that are in the circuit right now, but I think that's right where I could be.
I think
As
Rob
far as like a
guys too.
yeah, dude, Rob is in press shape.
Rob would kill
He could.
that.
Yeah, because you never see him do like a max or like a heavy like barbell split jerk out of the rack. He hasn't a reason to,
No,
and he doesn't post that kind of stuff. But
a guy like
he's good
Martins,
for north of 5.
healthy Martins, and even a Novikov would also destroy that event.
Yeah, no, that's what I want at the Arnold Classic, and I think if they're looking for an event to break the internet, that'd be the one.
Yeah, that's the
But
one.
I'm sure they already have the events picked, and maybe next year. Who knows? All right. I think it is about time to sign off. We have taken 34 minutes of your life.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think Braden will edit it down a little bit. But thank you guys for checking out the YouTube channel. All those regular things would help a ton. So like, subscribe, hit that little notification bell. We're going to be doing this quite a bit more. Sit downs like this. I'm going to be bringing Braden with me to basically every show.
Braden, show your face so people know who you are.
Braden, come on around. Young Braden, this is my cousin. We have the same genetics somehow. He's a big guy. Yeah. So he's going to be coming with us. He can't come to OSG, but basically every show moving forward, either for myself or for Dungeon Strength, the gym, he's going to be coming, or for Alex Athletes with RP11. Braden is going to be coming and documenting all of our shenanigans on the road. So, yeah, stay tuned on the channel, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we will see you next time. Thanks, guys.